Hello guys, welcome to VIP-bet and Odds Analysis Show. Today we're going to discuss some value bets for the upcoming weekend. It has been a very nice weekend, the one before, with very interesting games, especially on Premier League. I need to focus Watford versus Chelsea. Definitely, it was an amazing game. There was a part of the game that I thought that Mark Silva could do again one of his tricks, but then Chelsea turned it around. The strongest team came up, and they won in the end 4-2. But as expected, again, Watford did very well. It's a very tricky team. When they play versus big teams, they are usually very comfort. They like to play on transitions, do their coach strategy. So it's one of teams that we are following this year, and I think that we are following well so far. So for this week, today it's so early in the week. We're gonna check some values. I have to say that there is not big moves expected this week, at least at the moment, and with the news available. But I still found some that has some interest, not also as valuable, but one or two also on a punter perspective. However, I'm gonna let like the punter ones for late in the week. I think that it's much better like for us to discuss like very close to the weekend the the bets that we're gonna take on the day before to start the weekend. So let's go through Premier League. Here on the game of Bournemouth versus Chelsea, the price of Chelsea, in my opinion, there is still margin to drop. At the moment, you still can find Chelsea around 165, but Bournemouth is not an impressive team, and I know that the game is on the road, but the team of Antonio Conte won a lot of confidence, like a turnaround as the one they did on last game. Well, it's something that the morale of the players, they go to extraordinary level. So I expect the Chelsea very strong on this approach at Bournemouth, and that 165, I would say that probably close to kickoff will be more like 153, 152, more close to 150 than to 160. So you still have value here if you want to take a bet, and then it depends of course on your stake. For small stakes could be not so huge, so huge movement to approach it. But as a punter perspective, in my opinion, we have also here a bet Chelsea to win at Bournemouth is a very good price. Um, then again, a Watford game. This one, the bookies are starting now to getting prepared to it. Watford versus Stoke City. Watford plays at home, and Stoke is not passing a good moment, so they need to risk a bit more than usual to try to grab points there, and that will leave, in my opinion, a very open game. Because Watford is very comfortable with what they are doing, even with this loss. I think that this loss versus Chelsea won't affect them too much. Of course, that after being winning at Stamford Bridge, they would love to bring at least a point, but they know the potential of the other team, and any coach can easily turn around that motivation, or after such a loss. So there is a line that I like very much, which is both teams to score. You can still find it around very close to 190, and Watford, it's a team that is capable to do goals, but they concede also very easily. The defense that Mark Silva has for this season is not very strong. So, and Stoke has potential also on the front. So I think that all the games of Stoke are also always with goals, and I'm expecting an overish game here. So both teams to score in an overish game where I don't expect a very high supremacy from one side. 1.9, 1.88, 1.80, even if you catch like 185, is still a very good line to approach this game. So not only as punter but as valuable. I expect to see this close around 1.7. Then I I had pointed here Leicester versus Everton, but now I'm gonna skip it because the price already dropped too much. Leicester open around 237, and that price it was very valuable. Everton is on an horrible moment, and I think that game is it's going to be all on Leicester's side. But at the moment 2.12, well, I can't recommend as an early value. We can discuss it possible more close to more late in the week, but for today it's a line that we're gonna pass because it's I'm not expecting also a huge variation till the kickoff. So then we have another game on Premier. This one very interesting because it's a valuable line, but however is a very tricky game, which is Burnley versus Newcastle. At the moment, bookies are treating this game as evens, and it's true that Burnley is not doing so well. They come from a 3-0 at Etihad Stadium on Man City, but they it's true that they this year comparison with last one they are doing much better on the road than at home. But this can't be an evens game. Like the draw no bet for Burnley at the moment is paying around 2.0, even 2.01, so underdog or slightly underdog. So when this is completely like wrong. I think that this price, even Newcastle is doing pretty well. Turf Moor is a very difficult place to play, so I'm expecting this to go to 185, something close to that. So it's not a bet that I recommend as punter because it's a very tricky game for me, but in terms of value, I like it very much. So if you want to take it now and then try to do a little short win on the beginning before the kickoff, then that's the way in my opinion. And that's all. That is all for Premier League. I have more here, a couple of games pointed that I would like also to speak with you guys, but they are not from Premier. So Serie A, Bologna versus Lazio. Lazio is in a good moment. They did a very strong team for this year, and the open price for Lazio playing on the road around 179 at Bologna. It was very valuable, and at the moment you still can find it around 171, 172, and it's still valuable. I think that the closing price of this one will be around 1.6, if not even lower. So take it now, and we're gonna discuss it then later in the week and see how it is. Because sincerely, I think that this is one of those that we're gonna see drop heavily till the weekend. Another game very interesting, also with the game with a team playing on the road. Is on Ligue 1. On Ligue 1, Bordeaux versus Monaco. It's true that Monaco is not on their best moment. It's true that they are much weaker than last year, and we already discussed that when we backed Besiktas +1 on Champions League. But here, well, it's a different game. It's a different game. They don't have a midweek game. They are completely focused on this one, and Bordeaux is not also so strong, and the bookmakers are pricing this one as an evens game, and then the valuable is completely on Monaco's side. I think that the correct price here should be a draw no bet option, but around 1.7, and we have Monaco around 2.0, so that's the way to go. Also on Monaco draw no bet, and like Lazio, we're gonna discuss it then on Friday. The last ones. I have more to last games, and they are from Portuguese leagues. Also as valuable lines. So two teams that are without. Well, they had the coach dismissed last week, but one of those. So the team that plays at home, so Ferreira versus Estoril, and Ferreira already had as a coach since early on Monday. Estoril is still searching for a coach, and Ferreira gonna play at home, and the quality of the coach that goes there, well, it's definitely very good, especially at least for the level of this league. And at the moment they are paying around 213 to win the game, and that is a good line to take also as punter, or in case you want to hard something, or do a sure win before kickoff. I think that you're gonna have also a very lower odd that compared with this one when the game starts. The last is also on the same league, and is Rio versus Sporting. So Sporting is on a good moment, despite they lose always on Champions League versus big team on last minutes, like we saw versus Juventus this time, and but they also had the same with Barcelona previous on the previous round. They're gonna play at Rio, which is a very difficult stadium to play, but this year the team is a team that well they want always to have the ball possession as they are a big club, one of the three big teams. But the problem for this game is that they have one of the best players, which is loaned by Sporting, so he can't play that game. I'm talking about Geraldo, a very young guy that for sure it's going to be one of the talents also as Sporting launch every year, one or two. So and more than that, plus added to that, they had also two red cards on last game of two regulars, so on defense, and that versus a team as Sporting, well, they're gonna have very difficult to deal with. So the price of the Sporting at the moment, you can find it around 165, and you should take it. Like it's a kind of price that's gonna close around 150, and more than that, it's the kind of line very good to take as punter. So guys, any doubt that you want me to clarify late in the week, let us on comments on Twitch or YouTube, and I'll be here as your host and guest again late in the week. So bye bye, and see you on Friday.